All right. Hey. I am happily sharing my final steps for my one of my 2 vines for this month of November. So you are looking at this is called Woke, and actually finally just I knew kind of what I wanted it to be based on what it was becoming while I was drawing. It goes into this spot right here, and while I was drawing it, it is in this section, this pink section, which is really the global brain and how it's affecting what's going on in our lives in the real world, and how we're getting coerced into it. That's a lot of that top part right there, and so each area discusses what is kind of going on. Climate change is unfortunately at the bottom of the pile right here, about to heat up everything. I'll go through that with the where we are in the big picture, but this is chapter 3. This is vine number 190. It's going right there, and I'll show you how it I link everything together. But for right now, I'm just finishing up. I bring this in here after taking off my iPad, and I'll come in here. I've already done these 2 things, but I'll just come here and I'll replace color. And what that does is I pick the black and I turn it. This will make it all the way. Let's try that again. Am I on replace? Yes. So if I pick it and I try to replace the color, well, since I've already done it, I guess it's not letting me, but that doesn't make sense. Let me try this again. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. So anyway, I've already made I'll actually bring the layers right here. I just have 2 layers right now. All I did was copy this one after I cleaned everything up. But however, I did just see, so I go in really about this close, and I go through everything to make sure I didn't miss anything. And what I see right here is a little speck, so I can clean that. In fact, I'll just clean that on here too, because it's not supposed to. I was supposed to already find that before I made the second layer, but that's okay. So after going through all that, updating making the white as possible, the black as possible, through the replace color. Then I just go in and I fix everything up, make sure I didn't miss anything when I'm drawing. So then I have this right here, and like I said, I create the 2 layers, and this is going to allow me to bump it up to the edges of the other one. So if you see, apparently there's one to the left right there, and then one to the bottom, the what is this called? Cons piracy. It's like a pirate. A lot of weird shit going on. You should definitely try to read each one of these. They all have their own messages, which I write as I go here. So this one for woke, it's really long, so I've got to break that down into like a 2-sentence type thing right there. I'm trying to make them shorter. But what's cool is I use everything that's going on in the messages from the future as well, so they kind of coincide together. But this one's talking about woke, and that it's everybody who's waking up and canceling out everything from comedians to actually universities. In fact, because when you're afraid, teachers are afraid of what they're going to say, and students are, and comedians and everybody, it actually is not good for our society. So. It's really happening a lot right now, and the woke is actually being influenced by Twitter and things like that. So that's what this message will say once I'm done writing it over the next day or 2. But before I polish the writing, I'm polishing this. So finishing this, then I title it from what I know I want to write about, and then I polish up the writing, and then that completes each one. So I finished 2 each month. So this one is, like I said, woke, and the other one I'm not going to share with you. You'll have to find out. So I just finished that one today too, and did this process. But this one's going to be easier. It's got 2 to it, one to the left, one to the bottom. So let's get started. All I do is I come in here, and I'm going to want to change the canvas size And I'm going to go to the left. So I want to hold it to the right, and then I want to go to percentage, and then I just do 200. So that makes it, go that much farther out. And I got my two pieces here. So now I can come in here, and I go to the ones I finished, the biggest ones. So this is the highest. What is that doing in there? That's the one I just finished. I have to look into why that's a folder. All right, so these are all the ones that are finished. And if you look, let's go back to this. The one next to it is right here. I believe this is called Thought Bubbles. Or Thought Bubble, let's see. Yes, Thought Bubble. It's VN-190. So what I do is I can just come in here, and I'll just drag this right next to it. Well, it's going to go in the center. And then after it goes in the center, I just click this little button. Bam, it goes all the way to the right. I mean to the left. Keeps this piece to the right. So I want to select that. And then what I'll do is I'll come in here and let's say if I have black right now, you'll see that's where the edge is. So this is the edge from the new one to the old one, or to the existing one. So what I want to do is I zoom all the way in, and I mean that line's, I was going to say it's too perfect, but it's not perfect, but it's pretty close. So I zoom all the way in here, and I don't like how that's looking. And I try to make it as seamless as possible. So obviously one of the things that takes my time, but it's all part of the process. So see this, I did pretty good. So I'll obviously do this before I start drawing with the template that I draw really roughly before I start. Let's see, where are we? Okay, we're down there. So see, that one was pretty far off, but you know, it's hard for me to do this with a mouse, so I don't like having to clean up too much. But these little fixes are not bad at all. Ooh, a little too much. Some of them get a little weird. And yeah, like I can't change anything to the left because that's already done. It's already minted and up for the world. So I always make double sure everything's right before it's done. So boom, just a little bit there. This looks like it's there. So, and I'm obviously, you see all the pixels. It's like, you know, it gets nasty, and then it gets like, I can't even see it. So the way I would always prefer is vector. Then I could just keep zooming in with no artifacts, right? Well, I haven't for the past 8 years because I never really had anything that I was able to draw just like I would draw like a pencil. And because the way I do it is I have to zoom in, and I kind of use, you know, kind of the flow of my hand and almost like sculpt it on. So any vector program wasn't really, you know, it didn't give me that ability. It's just kind of weird. And I didn't want it, I wanted to hand do all of this. I didn't want any help from a computer. So what I have discovered, and I have taken this in, let's see, like this one, that one's way off. But that's all right, I've definitely had worse. So just kind of sculpt it in there. Oh, too close, even for me. So anyway, all these little pixels, even when I'm drawing on the iPad, it just sucks. It takes away from the experience and being able to zoom in infinitely. Well, I have a, oops. Oh! What the heck did I do here? That's right. That's a bad one. Oh, that's all right. We'll just fix that right there, and all is well, and it'll flow really nicely into this one. But for the vector, I am going to start using, where is this? Over there. I'm going to start using Fresco, I think it's Fresco from Apple. No, from Adobe. It's an Adobe product, which I use, obviously. Right here is Photoshop, and I use After Effects, and not really Illustrator that much. But anyway, so I'm going to start using that, and it flows just like Procreate, the raster drawings and all that, and I can zoom in forever. Like, just imagine going in here, in here, in here, and then more stuff coming through, and more stuff, and more stuff. So that's going to be really fun. I've tried to vectorize these, and I have to take a really small area, and it will vectorize it really nicely, but it would take a year to go back and vectorize all this. Now, if this project gets to where I want it to go, I'll have some money to maybe pay someone to get in there and do that grunt work, vectorizing all these. But moving forward, at least I can have the vector pieces. And these are huge now anyway, even not being vector. They're 8 feet tall. But I want vector because I have some crazy ideas that's going to come out of these now that I can infinitely zoom. And the file size will be a lot smaller. But I digress. Here we go. After fixing it all up, I want to bring it back down to normal size. So I'm going to hold that right side again. I'm going to go to %. And then I'm going to go 50% instead of 200. And it's going to warn me, and I say yes. And now it's back to the exact same size. I don't need that layer anymore, and we're all happy. But we got one more side to do, which is going to be the bottom. So underneath has got conspiracy. It's a really fun one, and it talks about what is it? All the conspiracies that's going on, and how it spreads, that kind of thing. So it's a revealing one itself. So %, right? And this time I want height. I'm holding it at the top, 200%, and bam. So then we want to grab conspiracy, and it'll put it right there. And then we drop it to the bottom. Bam. Nope. Bam. And there we go. And I love seeing these just pop out. Sometimes it's just this perfect image with just the two pieces that are linked together. It's awesome. This one's a little crazy, but I like it. So right now, I go back up to this layer, and we just do the same thing. And a lot of times I try to keep it kind of minimal when they link together, because right there it's this will be easy to show you. Oh wow, this is a really easy one. I like this. This is just this green area. So I just take the green. I want to make sure. Did I see a little spot? I see. Look at that spot right there. Bam. Done. See? Look what happens. Still finding mess ups. My eyes don't help. Alright, so let's see where this... Okay, there it is. Look at that. That was almost dead on there. So obviously I've come in here during my drawing, and I'll sometimes see what's if it's lining up and stuff while I'm doing it. So obviously did that. That's why these are nice, and I thought that was it. Really close to not needing any work. I love when that happens. Is that good? No, I see something right there. Yeah, it doesn't help being a perfectionist doing this. Alright, I'll just kind of clean it up just in case. I like to do that, like on the sides. I won't be able to see this edge until I do the next one, so a lot of times I'll just come in here and I'll come around just to make sure. Oh, look at that, another one? No, it's on my screen. My screen's dirty. Good thing it's not recording you guys can't see my screen. And the way I can find these is when I'm moving it, my eyes can't see the small details to miss. So what I'm able to do is, when you're scrolling past something and you catch something in the corner of your eye, that's how I see. I see out of the corners of my eyes, not in the middle. So it's makes it where I can zoom in here and move it really quick, and then I can see if even the smallest little detail is out of place because it's like zooming past the corner of my eye. It's really wild. But that looks like everything's good there. So I will do the reverse. I will go to canvas, and then I'm going to hold that top again, and then go back to percent, but this time for height, I'm going to go 50%. It's going to warn me, and then bam, there we have it. And one last thing, I want to go here and I want to flatten the image. Flatten. Bye-bye. And then I'll just do a quick save. And then this is saved in, it's called my folder VIP. Whoops. My VIP folder. That's just Vine's in progress folder. So that's it right there, but it's not named and numbered with the rest of them. So then I just come in here and I save as, and I go to out of the VIPs into the main area, and I first do the big one, 48 by 48 by 60, and it's already labeled 190, and then 05 is the version I've sent to myself while I'm working on my iPad. And this one is just called Woke. You dang woke. I got an issue with you, woke. So bam. Woke is done there big, but I also want, I like to keep different file sizes. I don't know why, it's just killing my computer. Or just adding more space, but I'll do a 16 by 20 because a lot of times, it's a lot smaller and it actually fits on the wall. I'll show you. I had to make the wall 16 by 20 for each one because at 48 by 60 for each one, my Photoshop file, it wouldn't even save. It's so big. So I changed that, and then I go and I save this one into the 16 by 20 folder, and it's already labeled there. And then I do it one more time to do, this is what I share online. So I'll take the 150 off and I'll do 72 DPI, which is screen size. And I'll do it one more time. So save as, and then I go into my reduced, and then that goes in there. So then I do an undo, because bam, that takes it right back to the 16 by 20. And what that allows me to do is put it into this. This is actually just chapter 2 and 3. As many of you know, there's a chapter 1, and that's connected to the far left, but same thing. If it was that big, I mean, look at this, zoom, 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 zoom. It would be a humongous, the file. So what I do is, I try to make it as small as possible. That's why these are 16 by 20 each, and then that's to line it up. So unfortunately, this big one is it could fit a room that's the height of what, 20 feet, 50 feet tall. So it's not small, but I want to be able to get way deep in there so it starts pixelating. So what I want is to make it bigger and vectorized. So that's what I'm going to start doing, but it's, like I said, it's already huge. And here is where it started. I'll use my here, let's turn on the dark area. So as you see, here's the dark area. Here's where anything in dark, I'm just using my mouse to kind of feel what the flow is, see whatever the story is telling me, and then each part while I'm creating these contributes to the story. So that's how it started right there when I brought it into iPad. And then I will take this, and I don't need that. I want to be in this one. Yeah, it's that right there. So I we'll take this and I'll drag it right into there. And I can close this now because I've saved it everywhere. This is now I'm starting to line everything up. But as you see, so I'll take it right here and put it right there. And then let me make sure it's all right. I take that off and there we go. So there is woke right next to thought bubble, which is another basically how the internet is putting us into these thought bubbles of not only ourselves but these small tribes and how those are influencing us. So all this pink that you see is literally the global brain coming into this, this tidal wave right here. So right here to the left, you see this big tidal wave. This is the awakening. It talks about technology, the flow of this exponential growth that's flowing into our society while we're dealing with climate change and all that. That's what a lot of this orange area is. And then all the exponential tech that's going on in space. And then COVID hit. So a lot of this area, it's a madhouse. Everything COVID with with masks and all the political shit that's been going on. Everything from that to here's Zuckerberg with his Facebook. You'll find a lot of Easter eggs in all of these if you keep zooming in. And this is him basically creating this world that he wants us to be in. So this was made during the pandemic, but I knew he was going somewhere, and when they announced the Metaverse, I was like, well, duh, this is what it's telling me about, and it shows how it affected the what do you call it, the presidential election right here, and how everything flows in together. We got rage. We got everyone getting into already into the Metaverse, and then now we're coming down into how the pandemic started affecting our transition into the Metaverse. And I've been using Metaverse for a while, and I'm not claiming to tell the future, but I'm just using this as my map, and for some reason it's been spot on. So I'm just going to stick to that. This started talking about blockchain, and I did not even realize it until recently what's going on in blockchain. I've been investing in that for years, but all this that's happening with the climate down here, and we're finally getting into blockchain. This is actually called the blockchain gang. This was done last month, and it does talk about how if our governments allow the blockchain to be what it needs to be. Actually, this is one I'm working on right now. It's very fun. That'll be done December, so next month. So the blockchain is more important than most people realize. There's a lot of people who understand it and its potential, and I am definitely one of those. And I didn't really realize the potential until really the past month. I got it. I was looking, obviously NFTs, all that kind of fun stuff. But with DAOs and the way everything in the blockchain it's open, but it's also it allows us to create things that we'd have to have a company create and then use their system to do whatever we want with it. The blockchain allows us to do so many things that is not based on who you know or the factors of the government or anything like that. And I don't want to describe it too much because there's so many different things to the blockchain, from the like I said, DAOs, NFTs, and which are decentralized autonomous organizations, raising money, artists being able to get paid multiple times, not just selling one piece, but actually getting paid each time there's a transaction. So I'm anxious to see what's about to happen here. Like I said, I create what I think it's going to happen from there, and then it gets detailed as I go. But if I turn this off again, you'll see it's it's getting quite that blue, which I love. But the blue, it doesn't represent a help to our climate. It's actually part of this other new tidal wave. So we had this tidal wave of technology, and now we've got this tidal wave of I don't want to say the metaverse, but where we are all headed, where everything is digitized, where our world is digitized, AR, VR, all that kind of stuff. The metaverse is basically everything. We're not going to experience it first with VR glasses. We're experiencing it now right through our portals. In fact, if I go right here and I go to VR Vines, there's a great company that anyone can come in here and build. I think you can do at least one for free. And look at this. I'm in the metaverse right now. The project's in the metaverse. I'm able to put this on here. Anyone could come in here and we could talk right now, instantly. We'd be just sitting here having a conversation in this room, looking around. We could see ourselves. Oh, NFTs are coming, by the way. Woo-hoo. And then you can come in here and listen to each message from the future, which I did not change this. So, since I'm streaming, I got time. Let's do this. So this was 11:10. They come out every 10 days. So the 20th was the latest one. So look how easy this is to change. So I'm going to make sure I have that. I'm going to delete this asset. And I am just going to add to this frame. And let's see. It is a video. So I'll go to add video. And then I will go to my messages from the future, 2021. And there's 11:20. There's that. Come on now. So there it is processing. I'll enlarge it a little bit. Ugh, what a mess. Back up a little. Oh, went through the wall there, so right about there. Make it a little bigger. And it should pop on in a sec. I'm going to lock it. I don't want it to autoplay, and I don't want it to loop. So anyone can come in here. It doesn't need to be green screen, doesn't need to snap. Does need to show though. Hello. There it is. So now you can come in here and you just press this button. For some reason it's muted. I don't like that. But now you can listen to it.
Message log 70, the 20th of November 2051, Jewel 312.
It's pretty quiet. Let me turn this up.
At this point, you're starting to suspect that the adults, the ones who are supposed to look after you, are stealing your future. You've spent the majority of your life hearing dire predictions about what will happen if the climate crisis isn't addressed, only to see many adults in positions of power act as if the problem doesn't exist or refuse to make the difficult decisions that are required to address it. While many of us were born in the 2030s...
So they're talking about how COP26 is not really, it's a lot of talk, and we need to get our act together. Oh, this is getting louder.
Included in climate decision-making. While demonstrations are an important piece of the puzzle, and hashtag campaigns can help raise awareness, you can't just yell at them, tweet at them, or cause them inconvenience by blocking traffic with protests to make a difference and earn a seat at the table. You must learn to develop the social and communication skills needed to negotiate with and persuade those who either don't agree with you or are simply indifferent. If you give up and give in, political and corporate leaders will continue to delay action, resulting in vast, irreversible, and accelerating losses throughout Earth's ecosystems.
So that's talking to the young people, saying, you can yell and protest and get on Twitter and all that, but you really need to show that you should be at the table.
Message log 70,
now,
20th of November.
For some reason, it looped, but I think it's only because, so now it won't loop. That's just because I turned off loop while it was playing. So this is, the metaverse is here, people. Like, we can come in here, you can come in here and listen to who the warlords are, how that all works, all that, and then we can all come in. This is an old sign. I have been a little busy, not too old, but you can come in here now, and this is where I have my discussions. So right here it shows we have 40 people all at once. So 40 people can come in here, and we can talk. We can share our screens. We can put our webcam faces on here. I can add more screens. We can share it. So just a place for everybody to come in here and talk on whatever discussion topic we have in store, which right here are the discussion topics, everything from the climate crisis to exponential tech, and then obviously negotiation skills, all those things that we need to be working on. And here's two of our warlords hanging out. What's up, my man? So that's them right there. And then I've got a link to them right there when no one's around here, but it lets you listen to all the messages that they've sent. They send one every 10 days. It started January 1st, 2020, and has come every 10 days after that. It has never missed. So they're able to send these messages every 10 days into the war room because the way it's not a Dyson, but it's where the magnetic fields of the two they're not universes. Dang, how do they do this? It's the best description I can't come up with in the shortest way, but they're able to contact us just through communication. They can't send anything through, but just through text, which reads it from text to speech, and eventually it'll get better as our technology gets better. Their technology is already there. They're trying not to have the global brain hear them contact us, so that's why they have to send it every 10 days at this specific point in time, because otherwise it won't be able to reach us, and because Anna, the global brain, who's taken over the world at their time in 2050, will catch them. So we don't want that, and they don't want that, because they're helping us get through to where we need to be. So, and then, yeah, it's fun. You can go into, this is their headquarters. So they are hanging out here, having some fun, dancing. This one, the other ones load on mobile devices pretty quick. This one might take time, or it might be tough because it's big. And I think if I take this out, it'll really help. And I have it in the other one anyway. I'll just link to it. But I liked having it here with our warlords. You got Jess right here. You've got Red and Rico and what's your name, dude? Blaze? No, I've got all their names. Sorry, dude. Got your name. Now we do have Air right here and Link. So anyway, you come around here. Look how the game works. This is Jewel here. She'll tell you what the game's about. Which the game is actually the cards, or the vines turned into cards that actually puzzle together to make the entire artwork, which will be completed in 2030. Well, the stroke of midnight. The last one will be revealed. So anyway, that's the metaverse. We're already there, and that's just one example. One example not a lot of people don't even know about. So I think that's as much as I wanted to show today. But like I said, I'm working on. I'm going to start working in vector, so we'll just keep coming in here, and you'll keep zooming in, and I can come back in here. See that's pixels, nasty. The vector will blow your mind. It will go on forever. So anyway, thanks for listening, and I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. And that's it. I'll